Who do you pledge your allegiance to in this divided state of America? There's so much silent hate in America that it rings louder than the Liberty Bell once rung. Seems like every other week flags are hung at half staff in the aftermath of some mass shooting. Is it because Muslim extremists are here recruiting on our home turf? Or is it because right-wing extremists are allowed to carry on unearthed? Let's just be objective about this. A white man goes into a building and shoots a bunch of people, he's a disturbed individual. If a Middle Eastern man does the same, it's evidence of a residual hate institutionalized by his faith. And while this may very well be the case, the point that I'm trying to make is that motive can't be determined by race. Terrorism is terrorism. Now let's switch subjects. Our hearts go unchecked as little kids switch from one sex to another. A little girl who was once somebody's sister now wants to be a brother, a father instead of a mother, and vice versa. I mean, in all reality, what kid hasn't struggled with their identity? But my mom never let me trade in no high tops for high heels. And that's just real. I'm not trying to be homophobic or judgmental. I have no right to be. Because I'm a sinner like everybody else. There's no light in me. Because of the lust of my eyes that clusters inside, I've had sex in my mind with women I've never even met. When I think about it, I just take a deep breath and say, at least I'm not a rapist. But look at the pride that brings. If I compare myself to a pauper, I can feel like a king. Guess that's why God says the heart of man is deceitful above all things. Every time I see a white cop kill a black guy, I get mad. Throw up my fist and say Black Lives Matter. But if the guy behind the trigger was my nigga, wouldn't even bat an eye. See, ever since Adam and Eve, this world has been messed up. I'm just trying to bring some gravity so we can open our eyes and see the depravity that's eating a cavity into the soul of America. And who's got control of America? The people who run it don't even call themselves Americans, just Democrats and Republicans. And we give them our government and expect them to look out for our interests. And they're loving it. They control what we see and what we listen to. So even when you watch the news, all you're getting is their views. That's why I ask, who do you pledge your allegiance to? I choose Christ, the heavenly one, who's able to forgive sin 70 times 7 and some, who took nails in his hands and in his feet, and on his head wore a wreath made of thorns to symbolize mankind's scorn towards the mind of Christ, the same Christ who came to give life and that more abundant, that he paid for and funded by his blood, which is still running, but no longer from the flesh. Now it's from the spirit, and that's the truth, and that's who I pledge my allegiance to. So once again, I ask, who do you give yours to? And I pray that you choose wisely, and peace be unto you. God bless.